Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to show you how to make those pumpkin pancakes I was making on Instagram the other day, and these turned out so good. I'm so excited for you to try them, and I don't think you guys would know by the way they taste that they're actually made with really healthy ingredients that are good for you and make you feel good, but they're also really fall-y and decadent and delicious. So I hope you guys are excited, and let's get started. So instead of using wheat flour for these pancakes, I'm going to be using oat flour, which I know sounds kind of weird and fancy, but I promise you it's the opposite. It's literally just some quick cooking oats in a blender. You pulse it a couple of times, and just like that, it turns into flour. And then I'm just going to add some baking powder. This is 1 tablespoon of baking powder, 2 tablespoons of coconut sugar, and a half teaspoon of nutmeg, and then I do a big pinch of salt. Side note, sometimes I see people do a pinch of salt in a recipe and it's like 2 little grains. When I say a pinch, I mean like a healthy pinch. I usually use 2 fingers. This is going to bring out the natural sweetness in the pancake and help balance all the flavors. Then I just stir this together and the dry ingredients are ready to go. Next, we're going to make some vegan buttermilk, and for this you're just going to need either a large mug or a bowl, and you're going to add 2 cups of unsweetened almond milk or soy milk, and then we're going to make it kind of buttermilk flavored by adding a teaspoon of apple cider vinegar. I know that sounds weird, but I promise it doesn't taste like vinegar, but what it does is it kind of thickens up the almond milk and gives it that slight tang that buttermilk has, and it just adds so much flavor, and it also helps make these pancakes even fluffier because it helps activate the baking powder. Then you're just going to combine the dry ingredients and wet ingredients in a bowl along with 1/3 cup of canned pumpkin puree, and as you stir this together it starts to smell so good. Then I let that sit for about a minute while I preheat my pan and add a little bit of coconut oil. So once your pan is hot at about a 6 or 7, I like to go ahead and add the pancake mixture, and I use a 1/4 cup measuring cup just so that every pancake is the same size and everything cooks evenly, and they're not going to get as many air bubbles as a typical pancake will, but it will kind of firm up and get like golden brown around the edges after about 2 minutes, and once that happens you'll know that it's ready to flip. Alright, so raise your hand if you've ever made pancakes and the first one turns out okay, but then the second and third one is like burned on the outside and it's all doughy on the inside and it sticks to the pan when you try to flip it over and it just becomes a disaster. This is because the pan gets really hot after you make the first one, so what you want to do is turn the heat down to about a 3 or 4 after you've made your first pancake, and that way you're going to get a lower, more even cooking time for each of the pancakes. I also like to take a little paper towel with a tiny bit of coconut oil on it and rub the pan between each pancake, and that way you get a nice golden brown outside and the pancake has time to get nice and fluffy on the inside, and it's a pretty cozy experience. Pour yourself a cup of coffee. It's only going to take about 15 minutes. Then I like to dollop some vegan coconut yogurt on top and some more maple syrup, and I mean, this is the best part, right? Look at that. This recipe makes 9 large pancakes, and you can also store them in the fridge for about a day or 2. They do hold up really well, and I've even frozen them individually and I toast them up, and that works really well as well. So you can make these on a weekend and have them kind of meal prepped in your freezer ready to go. These are some of my favorite pancakes I've ever made, so I really hope you guys will try this recipe and have yourself a cozy little morning. If it's, a weekend or just a day off in the middle of the week, take a couple minutes to yourself in the kitchen, pour yourself a cup of coffee, burn some candles, maybe put on a playlist, and open the windows and make some pancakes.